Immanuel. Welcome to the first Monday of August. We come into this world crying, and we exit it with others crying because we left it. Grief is a normal part of life, but that doesn't mean it's easy or we like it. In fact, we don't. We hate it. The question is, what will we do with our grief and our sorrow in difficult times? It surprised me to find out recently that one third of all the Psalms are laments. Now, laments are prayers to God about our grief and our sorrow. Take Psalm 13, a Psalm of David. "O Lord," he says, "how long will you forget me? Forever? How long will you look the other way? How long must I struggle with anguish in my soul, with sorrow in my heart every day? Turn and answer me, O Lord my God. Restore the sparkle to my eyes, or I will die. But I trust in your unfailing love, and I will rejoice because you have rescued me. I will sing to the Lord because he is good to me." Now notice the flow of that psalm. It starts off dark and foreboding, but it ends up on a high note, confident. King David wrote this psalm because his enemies were attacking him, and he felt like God was nowhere to be found. Lamenting psalms show us that it's okay not to be okay. It's okay to have questions, and it's okay to be sad and to wonder why God has allowed this or that to come into our lives. Holly and I took our grandchildren to a pond the other day to catch some crayfish. And while we were there, we met this lady who is a mental health therapist, and we were talking about the effects that COVID has had on our culture. And she told us that because of COVID, there is this pervasive sense of disorientation, fear, low energy, anxiety, stress, and depression. There's even a new range of mental health disorders, including something called reentry anxiety, which describes people fearful of coming out of the social isolation that they've been in for months. We are living in challenging days. So let me ask you, how are you expressing your grief? You know, a good way is through prayerful lamenting. Now, to lament means to turn to God, like David, "How long, O Lord, will you forget me?" Telling God exactly how you feel. For David, it was the struggle with the anguish that was in his heart. And then asking God for help. David said, "Turn and answer me, O Lord my God." And then confidently trusting in God's character and in his timing to get you through your challenging moment. David said, "I will trust in your unfailing love." It's okay to be sad. You don't have to be up all the time. There's nothing wrong with you. It's normal. Grief is the appropriate emotion for this moment that we're living in our nation's history because of COVID. But God has provided a way for you and me to handle our grief in a good, positive, and healthy way. So this week, I'm asking you, lean into good grief, because you're going to get through this with God's help, and better days are on the other side. Have a great Monday.